Who are you voting for, Steve?
I'm voting for Obama.
Why?
Oh, so many reasons.
What about the other guy?
I'm not voting for him.
Lee, who are you voting for?
I'm also voting for Obama.
What about the other guy?
I hate him.
Hate?
I do. I find him to be really scary. I mean, at the time that they were starting the debates, he seemed like the best of the Republicans, but now that he's the only one left, he's pretty scary. And I think it is a really important election. You know, we've had 8 years of absolute, utter travesty that's torn the country apart. And, hopefully things will change.
If Obama does not win this election and McCain wins this election, what do you think the situation will be in the United States in the next couple of years?
Well, especially if McCain hews to Bush's policies as he seems likely to, I think it's just going to get worse and worse. I mean, I don't really agree with too much of what he's outlined as his policies, and quite frankly, I'm ready to consider moving to another country.
Where would that be?
I don't know, maybe somewhere in Europe or Canada, where the rest of my family is from.
Who are you voting for, Kim?
I'm voting for Obama. For sure.
You're voting for the O?
Yeah.
What do you think of what do you think the psychology of the country will be if Obama loses?
I think it'll be psychotic. Even more psychotic than the Bush years.
Do you think there's a real division in the country now between people who sort of support the Bush doctrine and the somewhat unknown Obama factor?
I think it's a really hard time for Republicans because they really, 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 really don't want to vote for a Democrat, but it seems like the most logical point of view also for, the more centrist or conservatives, because number one, the Palin factor, who seems just to be a magnet for the right wing wackos, and also it just seems like McCain is kind of he's sort of lost right now. He doesn't know anything about economics and just the way he's shown himself to be. It's not very confident building.
He's scary. He's scary because he's erratic and he's a maverick, which kind of means he's liable to do anything. I mean,
Steve, you come from the Midwest. Is your family agree with you on your politics?
I think that most the people I know back there are voting for Obama, but I actually do get really surprised when I hear about that there is support for the right-wing side of things back in Michigan, and I'm surprised that it's from people that I actually know that are not voting for Obama. That's what's.
Is it because they're racist?
I think it's partially due to that, and it's funny because there was a lot of sexism going on when Hillary was running, but now I don't know about any of that with Palin running. It's a sort of a reverse sexism. I feel like people are attracted to the Republican side of things just because she's somewhat attractive.
Well, she's charismatic in ways that he's not. I mean, she's more the factor in why people are excited about the Republican ticket than he is, and she's exciting. I'm excited by her, but I'm horrified by her.
Any lunatic can be charismatic.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Courtney Love is charismatic.
Enough said. What about you? What do you feel that Obama? I assume you're for Obama, are you not?
I am. I keep thinking that there is actually a very sort of a question of race in this whole race. And it's one that people are trying to sort of afraid to talk about, even though they kind of do talk about it. But I really do foresee a scenario of McCain and the Republicans getting winning the election in any which way they can. And if that happens, I sort of see like a really kind of very strong psychological warfare that will happen in the country. I think Obama represents The liberal mindset, I think he represents the desire for equality between gender and race in the country, and as a representative of that, if he loses, it seems to me like whatever rift there is psychologically in this country between the self-righteous and the liberals will be even more intense and create like much more of a sort of a civil unrest than we've ever experienced before. And so that's sort of what I kind of fear, is that situation more than anything, more than like, you know, thinking about like sort of the economic stability of the country, our relationship with the rest of the world politically, and I mean all that stuff is something that any president's going to have to sort of work out. I mean, I guess a president's main work is delegation. I mean, is delegating, is getting the right people to work for the country. And I would sort of trust that if McCain wins, that he will be very sort of sensible in that. But he's already sort of disproven that he's actually that capable of doing that in any good stead by electing this governor of Alaska, who is kind of she is kind of this wet dream for right-wing lunatics. And that's it. We're done. Sonic Youth is done. We're back, and we're talking about Mavericks.
That was like maybe my first like TV sort of idol crush was James Garner and Maverick. And so, I don't know, my image of Maverick is really different than that of John McCain or Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Would you vote for James Garner if he was running?
Only if he was a cross-dresser.
We used to have a kitten named Maverick that Steve actually renamed. And what did you call her?
Vixen?
Oh, didn't we have a cat named Maverick?
No.
In your dream.
In another world, dude.
Okay, this is deteriorated.
It's